Don't mind the title. Everything we post gets flagged, but at least we can still deliver this message for now, so it is what it is. Let's talk about the marriage institution and the hard-headed ninjas who still choose to take a long walk off a short bridge because they thought they found the one. Like I've been saying, men aren't the problem. I can't blame women for newlywed men getting divorce scraped into the future because the truth about marriage and divorce is in plain sight. If you are a man who has access to social media, family, and friends, and you listen to the news, you know men and the ops are getting divorced in high amounts. This is worldwide, by the way. Men around the world are losing their wives at record amounts, so if you choose to get married knowing that men are taking L's in their marriages, you're dumb. It's simple, there's no need to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to pander to the hope strategists. If you decide marriage is for you and it doesn't work out, and statistically it won't, it's your fault. When you go to a zoo, if it's not an open zoo, they'll typically have the animals behind a barrier to protect you or protect the animals from people. So let's say you decide to go to the zoo to see some lions, and you get the bright idea to break the rules and go over the protected barrier to take some pictures up close and personal with the lions. The lions are starving and see the easy prey come right to them. If they take advantage of the situation and decide to turn you into minced meat, whose fault is it? Can we blame the lions for turning you into minced meat when you were the one who went out of your way to put yourself in harm's way? The protected barrier is there for a reason, just like how this information is there for a reason, and you decide to ignore the barrier or, in this case, this information and walk your boo down the aisle. From my perspective, it's your fault if you get divorced because you got the warning and chose to go against it, so deal with it. The men who got married years or decades ago and got swindled, I'll sympathize with them. Most of them never received this information or knew better, so I understand. But the men who already got divorced once or received the RP information and still choose to walk down the aisle, you get no sympathy or empathy from me. We can't keep coddling fools for making dumb decisions because there's a price to pay for being dumb or ignorant. If you guys know you cannot handle or afford a divorce, then don't do it. It's that simple. I don't know why men love to think that what happens to other men can't or won't happen to them, and then when it does, they get mad. We have men who delete their wives and themselves when they get ramrodded and bled dry by the ex-wives and the system. To me, that's dumb. Don't participate in the institution if you cannot handle the BS of marriage and divorce. I know I can't handle a divorce, and it would not end well for the ops when I get betrayed, so the best decision I've arrived at is not to marry. If more men were honest with themselves and took the necessary precautions to protect themselves, we wouldn't have so much divorce happening right now. The sad part is that when men are making the decision to give the enemy and the system a chance to cut them in half and ruin their lives in the process, they never think about the kids who will suffer the most. Your kids are the ones who will have their lives turned upside down and have to live out of backpacks because you chose to attach yourself to a selfish parasite. These are the things that men should think about, but they don't, and they not only destroy their lives but the people closest to them when it all could have been avoided by not getting married and hiring a surrogate. Do you see what I mean? And the worst part is the only reason why you guys decide to get married is to have sex. That's pathetic in 2023 when so many women don't require marriage to access their happy center. They're literally selling it right now, and you buffoons are marrying them so you can have consistent access to their cookie. You're not thinking about kids or what you have to lose before you get married, highly likely unless you already had kids with the ops. You're just thinking about making sure nobody else can get access to the woman, and that's all it takes for you to ruin your life and your future lineage. It is pretty sad and pathetic that we'll let our rods lead us to financial ruin, but I get it. Men can't control their desires, so it is what it is. All I can do is hope this information will be enough to make the big head take control and make the decisions for you because ninjas are out here losing houses, cars, and kids all because they wanted bedroom fun and a family. And if you're a guy who got married against your better judgment and you decide to cheat or withhold bedroom fun from your wife, you're asking to get exploited by the system. It's dumb to cheat and betray your wife when there's so much at stake to lose. Not only that, but your decision also affects your kids, family, and friends, so why do it when you could have just stayed single and don't have to cheat? Gents, know thyself. If you know you can't be monogamous and you get tired of servicing the same woman over and over again, don't get married. That's all I have to say. If you're going to get married knowing what you have to lose, don't do anything to make it worse. And one last thing. Why would you guys get married and not make your wife sign a prenup, have any trusts, business accounts, or offshore accounts? I don't understand why men are so dumb. It's painful to watch. You guys know what you have to lose, but you're so dumb that you do nothing to protect yourself at all. I'm not impressed with men. Not only do you guys not protect yourself, but you have kids and don't do a DNA test to prove that the kid is yours before signing the birth certificate. This is sad, bruh. We are supposed to be the smartest animals on Earth, and we let the weaker species take us for a fool. I hope you guys take this to heart. Stop allowing the ops to swindle and use you to elevate themselves, because you're not here to be stepping stones for the ops. It starts with men getting control of their small heads, knowing what they are willing to lose and guarding themselves from manipulation. Or do like me and stop dealing with the ops, and you won't have to worry about any of this. With that said, I have some updated data to share with you guys about marriage and divorce you will want to be aware of. I won't go over the entire article because it would be too long, but we'll talk about what's important to better understand where this country is headed. Just to let you guys know, I don't have any faith in America. I think we're headed towards doom and gloom, and based on what I've seen over the years, relationships and marriages are dead, so I'm just here to report that it will get worse before it gets any better. The ops will lead us to self-destruction before we come together and save the sinking ship, so I would drop the hopium mindset if I were you and accept that it's pretty much over. If you guys believe marriage can be saved and divorce will continue to decline because people are staying together, you're out of your mind. We'll have a world war before we see any of that. I'm just letting you know we will get worse before things get better. You can't say I didn't warn you. Today's article is by Clever, and it's titled 2023 Data. 1 in 4 Americans think marriage is an outdated concept. There you have it. More and more people don't believe in marriage, so what will that look like 50 years from now? Enough talk, let's dive into the article. Are marriages truly on the decline? The short answer is yes. The national marriage rate has declined 60% over the last 50 years. Despite the decline, marriage is still a hot topic in American society, particularly on social media. So their data suggests that marriage is down by 60%. Lord have mercy. Do you guys still have hope that you can beat the odds seeing this decline? I don't. It will probably be worse in the next 50 years, even with the LDHCV community increasing in numbers and getting married. We need to just let marriage die off at this point, but ninjas won't stop doing it, so it is what it is. Let's continue. In a rapidly changing society, it's imperative to understand why marriage continues to hold significance. For many, marriage is a cornerstone of American society that provides stability to every household. However, there is an increasing number of Americans who view marriage as unnecessary for successful partnerships or just outright archaic. Factors such as high inflation, escalating living costs, and an expensive real estate market contribute to the evolving narrative. As a result, financial stability is a primary purpose for marriage, as reported by 1 in 5 Americans, 20%. I'm sure young people are the ones who don't see the need for marriage. Now that men are waking up and are probably cautious that they're going to become a statistic, they're not going to want to get married. Even women nowadays don't want to get married because of womanism and the economy kicking everybody's butt, so I believe people have this mindset. Also, many people saw what happened to their parents and people close to them or have been the kids of families who got divorced, so it's not surprising that marriage isn't seen as necessary. Also, remember we are in the sexual liberation in the strong and independent era. There's no more need to get married because the ops are making their own money and they can't keep their legs closed, so it makes sense why marriage seems outdated because all the things people got married for in the past can be gotten without marrying. Let's continue. Not everyone desires marriage, with 32% of unmarried Americans saying they don't want to get married. For those who do choose marriage, other motivations to tie the knot include showing love 67%, having children 29%, and seeking legal recognition 26%. Who wants to bet that in the 32%, most men don't want to get married? Ninjas are waking up, I'm sure. You blame men for wanting to check out with how bad things are? I don't blame them, and I encourage you guys to abandon this institution. But you guys don't want to do it because you believe in love, but as you can see, other people aren't going for marriage anymore, so why should you? Let's continue. 1 in 7 married Americans are unhappy in their marriage. Although 86% of married couples report they're happy they got married, 1 in 7 couples, 14%, express unhappiness with their marriage. What's even more striking is that more than 1 in 10 Americans, 11%, admit to not liking their spouse as a person. Additionally, 38% of couples report feeling obligated to stay married, while 19% describe their marriage as loveless. These figures paint a sobering picture of marital dynamics, as the highest percentage of respondents, 24%, have been married for less than 5 years. If this doesn't make you want to run away from marriage, nothing else will. So even when these people get married and are together, they're still miserable. And I bet it's mostly women who aren't happy. And you guys know what comes after they say they aren't happy, so I don't need to say anything more. This is why I tell you guys to stay single. No matter what you do in your marriage, you can't make the other person stay with you. No matter how much you invest or what you do for the ops, they can choose to leave and grape your assets on the way out. So why sign up to lose? I don't know why men are still doing this, but you guys do you. I stopped caring about men who chose to sign up for the slaughter a long time ago, so all I have to say is good luck because you're gonna need it. I'll cover more of these statistics in another video because I like the article, so look out for that. On the screen is a video that proves why you shouldn't get married, so click it to see why it's better to be single.